NXT, it's Brianna, and welcome to today's lunch break. We are going to be focusing on day 2 of the Devotional Dangerous Prayers, but before we jump in, I just wanted to say I miss you guys so much, and I can't wait to be with you again soon, but for this time, I hope that you're staying inside, staying healthy, and staying safe. That being said, let's jump right in. And like I said, we are talking about dangerous prayers. We're on day 2. So as I was reading this devotional, first of all, I was really excited because I think that this is a perfect theme for us to be talking about right now, given everything that's going on with coronavirus or COVID-19. And I think that it's a time when dangerous prayers are especially difficult because this seems like something that's so far beyond us that we even might put that on God and think that it's beyond Him as well. But we know that that's not true. So this is such a great reminder to pray those dangerous prayers and pray those big prayers that seem way out of the box and just trust God to show up. But beyond that, one key thing that stuck out to me was the idea that dangerous and powerful prayers are a key to keeping us from becoming lukewarm Christians. And as you might wonder what that means, if you've never heard the term before, a lukewarm Christian is essentially a Christian who is not on fire or passionate about their faith, but they're not completely turned off either. They're not hot nor cold. And you might think this isn't the worst thing. I'd rather be lukewarm than completely turned off. But in Revelation 3:16, in this devotional, it actually mentions that God will spit out lukewarm Christians. And it brings me to a book that I've read in part before by C.S. Lewis called The Screwtape Letters. And essentially, it's from the perspective of the enemy and his workers, I guess you could say. And it talks about who they will target and what they're looking for. And it mentions in that book that a lukewarm Christian is sometimes easier to target than a completely cold Christian. And so that's just something to ponder upon and just to think about as we're sitting in our houses doing nothing, kind of becoming benign in every other area of our lives. Are we using this time to become even more passionate and more on fire for God, or are we turning into lukewarm Christians? And so I just think that this was a really great reminder and wake-up call. But at the same time, I will say that I understand that it's so difficult to be praying big prayers right now, because we're kind of in like a paradox right now in the way that I see it, because Easter just happened and we're reminiscing and remembering and being grateful for the time 2,000 years ago when God performed the greatest miracle of all time. But right now we're dealing with such a huge problem, and it's something that causes so much confusion and even doubt. And so trying to live with both of those ideas in our head can cause a lot of difficulty. And I think to that, this devotional would say that this is the perfect time. If ever there was a time to be praying big prayers, it's right now. Because it forces us to put our trust in God in a time where we don't have any control. And it forces us to grow in our faith. So I would challenge you today, and for the rest of this time that we're inside, and just for the rest of really your life, to be practicing praying those big prayers even when it's really hard and even when it seems like God might not show up and you might end up looking silly praying for something that was too big. But we know that nothing's too big for God, and that mindset is from the enemy. And so I just would challenge you and accept that challenge myself to be praying those dangerous prayers, be praying for the health of our families, for our communities, and to just put our full trust in God and to believe that He's big enough and He's good enough and that He is working, even if we can't see it right now. So yeah, I hope that you guys take this devotional today and that you're able to reflect upon it, pray about it, and implement it into your daily life, and to start praying big prayers, because I can't wait to see the impact that that will have. I know that you guys have strong and powerful prayers. I've seen it at NXT. So keep practicing that. I'll be joining you. And reach out to any of your leaders or peers or staff if you have any questions. We miss you and we can't wait to see you. Stay safe and stay healthy, NXT. Bye, guys.